BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hey, I'm Sam. I'm a Thursday guy for BodyBags. This week, I'm doing In a Violent Nature. He's got straight to the point. Boom. Should you watch this movie? Yes. I think so anyway. So let me tell you about it. It's basically Friday the 13th, but you're following the killer the entire time, or at the very least 99% of the movie. Since that's that, and you probably already know what the movie is, the new movie that just came out to theaters about a month or less ago. My only fear going into the movie was that I'm gonna feel very bored because, the movie might drag because, the guy's gonna be walking and walking and walking and walking and walking. And I did not feel that. There was like a couple of scenes, but like, take those couple of scenes out, I thought it was fine. I wanted to watch it twice, but I ended up just watching it once. Yeah, so when I was watching it, there was kind of like two pictures in my head that I was kind of picturing, or like just two square boxes, when I'm watching this. One square box was as if, this was a normal slasher movie and you're only following the people. So say in the movie, if you're, right behind the killer and the killer's looking off and you see two people in the background, the picture in this box would be just those two people talking to each other, face to face. You'll be right there kind of thing. And the other picture was like a map following, kind of like pointing, trying to figure out like, okay, where's the killer going, blah, 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 kind of thing. Now, they both relatively stopped about the middle of the movie. After, it's a slasher movie, so obviously people are gonna die. About halfway through the kills, that's when I kind of stopped, because that's when the movie was like, okay, not that it's almost over, but like, you're just getting to that point where it's not going to be boring anymore. It's not going to be like boring, and it's not like I did it because it was just boring. It's just, if you're just following the killer walk about, why not try to like picture those two things? That makes it a little more better to watch the movie. It's your imagination too. The kills were really good. Now, I liked how the very first kill was an off-screen kill. So, I guess I'm going to start spoiling it. If you want to go watch it, you really should. If you don't, you really should. I'm going to give it like I don't care. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I really liked it. And I'm definitely buying it when it comes to physical media. Your local movie theater near you, go check it out. So back to I don't want to spoil too much, but I'm just going to spoil a little bit, just to kind of get through some of the stuff without, hedging around it, The very first kill, guy gets stuck in a bear trap, and the killer, walking towards him, and once the killer, like, right over him, he starts reaching his hand, and then it cuts to the killer reaching his hand for, like, this gold, like, necklace or whatever. But the difference between the two hands reaching is that the first hand, nothing's really on his hand. Second hand, there's a lot of blood on it. So it's like, oh, I wonder what he did. But I was like thinking in my head, so it's gonna be tamest to goriest, and which for the most part that's kind of how it went, but not really, because it was at least the first kind of half of kills. It was really tame kill, pretty kill, tame kill, and I say tame kill not because it was like tame, obviously, right? It's just that you don't really see it. You know what's happening, but you don't see it, kind of thing. And then after the third kill, that's when you're like, whoa, dude, what was that? That's what people like to call that scene the yoga scene, the yoga kill. And when I first watched it, you know, I didn't realize what he was doing until he was about to do it. It was like, oh, I'm not gonna spoil it because I'm sure that y'all are just hoping I tell you the rest of the movie or whatever. So I'm just gonna keep going. And then after that, there's like a tame kill here and a tame kill there, and then the last 2 kills of the movie are pretty brutal. So I guess my favorite kill was either the yoga scene or the very last kill. But I really liked the ending. I thought the ending was really good. Before I get to the ending, because that will be the ultimate spoiler, and it's like, I really don't want to spoil the movie for people. I really want y'all to go and actually watch the movie. Now, I get it, if you have short attention span, then this is your preferred option, but, you know, I guess it's whatever. I can only do so much, right? So the pretext to that, when the first scene, you have like 2-3 guys and they're like at this cemetery, although when you see big picture, it's not really a cemetery, it's just an abandoned like cabin that I guess used to be a well tower or whatever, or a fire tower, a water tower maybe, I forget, but it didn't really look like it. There's this kind of like stick in the ground, and there's a necklace hanging off of it, and one of the guys takes the necklace, and that awakens Johnny, who's the killer. Johnny is 6 feet under, gets up, and he starts walking, and a little after they leave. The idea is that's his mom's necklace. And, like, you know, it was kind of like a big deal to Johnny, of course, obviously. So he's just doing whatever it takes to find that necklace. And I can only assume it gets worse. Yeah, why the kills at the end are worse are because, you know, when he thinks he found the necklace, he didn't really find the necklace. So it only gets worse because, you know, he wants to get that necklace back. But at the very end, you know, the 2 final characters, you have the guy who I think originally took the necklace, and the girl that he gave it to, because, you know, I guess they liked each other or whatever. I'm not sure. You don't really know, like, the character development between the actual, like, people in the movie. The killer kills the guy and then basically smashes his brain into a pulp. So while he's smashing his brain, the girl takes the necklace off, leaves it on a gas canister, and then runs away. She keeps on running. You basically follow her running or walking until she gets to like a main road for like 5 minutes. And then once she's finally on the road, there's a car that comes and she basically hitchhikes out of there. And while they're driving, they're talking about, you know, either weird, crazy woods or whatever. The driver notices that the girl's bleeding, her leg's bleeding or whatever, so she stops the car so she can stop the bleeding. And in that scene, you're just like, or at least for me, I think any normal sane person is thinking in the back of their head, please don't kill her, please don't kill her, because, you know, the car stopped and the cliche is, oh, the killer's gonna get you or whatever. But it's like, you know, come on, I don't want to see everyone die at the end of the movie, you know? Gotta be some hope. And when she's staring out in the woods, you're just gonna think that he's gonna pop out of nowhere. But then the scene cuts to the gas canister in daylight now, because this was when, you know, when she started running, it was nighttime still. at the very least, early morning, like, you know, right? It goes back to the gas canister, and the necklace is not on it anymore. Meaning that the killer is gonna, you know, rest in peace now, right? Or at least that's the idea. But I felt really tense at the end. And I saw this comment on a review for this movie that I thought was really good. That being, something along the lines of how we're getting the storyline piece by piece through everyone around. It's kind of like you're playing a third-person video game. Like me, you're playing Fallout, or you're playing Skyrim, or whatever, and you're getting storyline pieces from the people that you're passing, kind of thing. It's kind of like that. But the main point of that comment that I saw, that I thought it was like, this represents what I'm thinking, was something along the lines of, hey, you're not scared when you're watching this movie because you're behind the killer the entire time. But at the very end of the movie, when you're not behind the killer, you're behind the girl, and you don't know where the killer is, that's when you're like, oh, I'm a little scared now, kind of thing. Or at the very least, you're scared for the girl, kind of thing. And I thought that was really good. Because I think only if you're watching this movie and you're just like, whatever, like, if you're not into the movie, it's whatever. But like, say you're into the movie, you're watching the movie, you're like, you know, you're in it, and you're at the end, and you're following the girl, and if you're like, oh, I hope she dies, or if you're like, oh, I don't care, you know, it's whatever, I don't feel tense, and you like legit don't feel tense about it. Crazy person. I don't know, there might be something wrong with you. A little bit of humanity gone, perhaps. But anyway, overall, I really like this movie, and I can't recommend it enough. I will definitely buy it when it's sorry, when it's physical media. I just don't know when that's gonna be. Plus, you know, I gotta start saving money instead of spending it because of circumstances right now, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm Sam. I'm your thirsty guy for BodyBags. I did Any Violent Nature, and I gave it an 8 out of 10 because I thought it was a really good movie. But if you're not in the mood, if I'm not in the mood to watch it, I'm not watching it. Maybe I'll have it in the background and fall asleep to it, kind of thing. But anyway, I'll see y'all next week. Goodbye.